Amy and I are going to present today about pragmatics in second language acquisition. I found this great quote I wanted to share. Pragmatics is the study of communicative action in its sociocultural context. Communicative action includes not only speech acts such as requesting, greeting, and so on, but also participation in conversation, engaging in different types of discourse, and sustaining interaction in complex speech events. And this was Gabriel Casper, who's done a lot of research on pragmatics pertaining to second language acquisition. Pragmatics includes making and interpreting requests, responding to compliments or apologies, responding to invitations, recognizing humor, and managing conversations in general. Some examples of pragmatics include things like, would you like some more? Could you please help me? Do you mind? I would rather. And would it be possible? So those kind of things, those nuances of the language. And even more common things like I'm sorry or please excuse me, including both excuse me if there's a mistake or excuse me if you are trying to get through a crowd, for example. The stages of development, these were in our text. Stage 1 is pre-basic. There's no syntax, very short 1 or 2 word kind of phrases. Stage 2 is more formulaic, unanalyzed formulas and imperatives, things like I'm sorry, excuse me. Stage 3 would be unpacking, so formulas, some formulas, and a shift to more conventional indirectness. Things like, can you please do this or that. Stage 4 would be pragmatic expansion, so increased use of mitigation, more complex syntax, and it's just kind of being a little bit more polite in a way. And then stage 5 is the fine-tuning request of force to, depending on your the goals of the conversation, the context, who you're talking to, that kind of thing, kind of the more fluent second language. Some research I found was, one thing was Leach and Thomas divide pragmatics into pragmalinguistics and sociopragmatics. Pragmalinguistics is the pragmatic strategies and how to convey relational or interpersonal meanings. So, in other words, how direct or indirect you are with who you're speaking with, or how to intensify or soften what you're trying to say. And then on the other hand, sociopragmatics is the social perceptions underlying the interpretation or performance of communication. So, in other words, the social distance, social power, convergence or divergence with the L2 culture. So, in other words, the level of how much you feel you are a part of the culture, of the language that you're trying to learn. So, sometimes there's more distance there, and you're not really feeling like you're a part of that the second language culture. And sometimes you do feel more like you are a part of the culture or you want to be. That's all what sociopragmatics includes. Additionally, Casper and Schmidt found that some pragmatic principles are universal, which can help a learner develop interlanguage pragmatics. They found that learners may choose to transfer some universal pragmatics, but at the same time they might over-transfer strategies that are not in fact universal. And really it varies based on those sociolinguistic factors. A study by Casper and Rose showed that pragmatics can be successfully learned in a classroom setting if it is taught explicitly. That's kind of a key finding. And then further, another study by Rose demonstrates the effectiveness of metapragmatics in the L2 classrooms. Metapragmatics is the explicit teaching of pragmatic strategies and examples, and ensuring that students notice pragmatic features of the target language. What was interesting about this was Rose found that students learn more and retain more over time when pragmatic features are taught purposefully and practiced in the L2 classroom. And Rose asserted that the studies pertaining to pragmatics in the classroom around metapragmatics validate Schmidt's noticing hypothesis. That is, when students are noticing what they're learning and there's explicit explanation of what they're learning and how to use it, that they will retain more over time. And now Amy will talk more about the practicalities of pragmatics as it pertains to teaching English language learners in our future classrooms. Thanks.